over this shit. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. Wait, yeah. We have one tab of Google open and OBS open. Please tell me it's not that bad. Hope not. Designing girls like Hot Wheels. Oh, I wanna know how to with you. What? Hold on. Let me. That is very low latency. Alright, I need to stop playing that. Alright, so I can hear myself fine. Now, can Fortnite load up? Please. I don't think it can. With OBS and Google running. If it always takes a little bit. Oh, there it is. Fun. Very fun. This stream has violated YouTube's terms of service. Yeah, I guess Instagram stuff. It was in the back of my head, so while I was watching it, that I was gonna get copyrighted. I didn't know exactly how it worked, but I did think that it was a possibility. Oh well. I got like so I checked my phone and I got like an email from Google about it. That I got copyrighted, which I did not expect whatsoever. I saw like an error message pop up in my chat. I was like, oh. And I was thinking, so back on my head, did I get copyrighted? I go to my stream on my PC, and yep, I got copyrighted. When you know. No, it seems fun. What the fuck is this? Item shop. I would love to buy that. I can't change the thing. See, that's what I mean. I can't change the game mode. I'm clicking it. It won't let me change the game mode. I'm like, oh, there it is. And then so watch this. I'm gonna click accept. It's gonna pop up again. I'm gonna click accept. It's gonna pop up again. I'm gonna click accept. It's gonna pop up again. I'm gonna click accept. It's gonna pop up again. It does this, and I don't. Eventually, it ends. Yep, there. But dang, it's really bad. Look, it keeps popping up. Stop it, please. I just want to dick around in creative for a minute. I'm honestly like really bored. I haven't had so much to do these past few days. I get on Xbox, I try to play a game, I get bored. I get on my PC, I try to play a game, I get bored. I watch YouTube videos, I get bored. Like, there isn't that much to do, honestly. At least on my own, there isn't. Look at this. Loading content, 9%. It takes so long. Kills me. Like, if I ever have some money, I definitely will buy me a new graphics card, but I have to, like, I could buy, or if I were to get a bit more money, I could buy a new graphics cards with the money I'm going to spend on Dokkan in July, but I honestly would rather spend it on Dokkan and then focus on that next. It's my next big budget item that I'm going to get. Obviously, I can't just buy it on the spot. I'd have to save for a bit, but I mean, that's fine with me. I don't care. As long as I get it at some point. Yeah, sure, we'll do 1v1 edit parkour. Why not? I rarely ever, like, play this game on my own. I'm only doing it right now because I really have nothing else. I already talked about Dokkan. And I can talk about that game for hours, but I need to have a topic in mind. I was so talking about it not too, like, literally minutes ago, but I got bored talking about it. And the way around that, I just got bored talking about it because I didn't have a topic. I was just like, I was talking out of my ass, essentially, is what I was doing. Look, I just got 11 FPS. What is this? So the game is definitely, it's gonna run a bit worse than how it usually does, because I have OBS open, and that's recording my screen, and also Chrome is running, which also, I mean, it doesn't help the game. I mean, Chrome isn't the big issue, though, so the big issue is having, OBS open, and that's, like, recording my screen, which definitely makes it a bit... Look at that, I just got 4 FPS. I just got another 20 FPS. Like, it's terrible. This is, like, it's really hard to, like, see, like, what I, like, put up with. It's insane. What? Look! I just got... What? Okay, then I couldn't see how much FPS I got there, but it definitely wasn't 60. I know it's 60 frames, so it looks like, and that was not 60. There's no way that it was. Like, is it weird to say that, like, my lip itches? So because my lip itches. And there's, like, or is it, like, my chin? I can't tell right now, but something around there definitely itches, and it does not feel right at all. Ah, this is the last one. Boop, 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 boop. I have no clue. Are you dumb? Stupid? Oh, nah. Huh. Oh, it's this way. Yes. Ah, yes. I hate editing on cones. Like, how you're, like, a bit higher than usual. It always like, F's me up for whatever reason whenever I edit on cones. Well, not every time, but every now and then it does. And it is very annoying, to say the least. I need to relax. Alright, I hate editing stairs like that. It is, like, I've played on a controller, and it is easier to edit stairs on controller than it is on keyboard and mouse for me, for whatever reason. It just, I don't know, it's just the idea of going, like, in a straight line like that, it really annoys me. I am not getting consistent frames on my stream even. I'm watching it right now. Well, it's smooth there, but other times it does get a bit choppy, I'm saying. I have no clues what to do about it either. Usually OBS will run smooth, but I guess because it's Fortnite or whatever, it does have a bit of an issue. Like, there are streamers who have, like, really good PCs that have, you know, Chrome running in the background, that I mean, they got Spotify, and also they have, like, some form of, so it's a recording. It might not be OBS, but dude, it is hard to edit and talk at the same time. It's killing me. And they also have some form of OBS thing running in the back, and they still get 240 frames while so meanwhile I'm over here getting 90 frames and I can't even play a normal game of solo. Like, all I need is like a new graphics card, and then it would be able to load everything so much better. If I could just have a new card, then I believe I would be able to play normal games and probably get like maybe consistent 100 FPS for just like an average card too. Not even like an insane one, just like an average like $200 one, and then that would be the end of it essentially. I am terrible. Going too fast and I can't even catch. Slow down. It says there's nothing in my chat, but I have no. It's annoying to this. I don't know what to do. I'm so bored. Can I? That was way harder than what it should have been. Oh, there is jump fatigue on this. There is. There's lots of jump fatigue. Oopsie. Wait, hold on. If I were to... And I am dead. Dude, I'm watching my stream back right now. Oh, where did I don't know. But, and like, it is very choppy whenever it comes to frames. Like, I'm watching on my phones right now, and it is extremely choppy. Alright, let's try it again. Oh, I messed it up. I added the thing too far. There it is. I don't even know why. Well, the only time I usually play this game is when I'm playing with my friends or something. But, and especially because I can't play normal games anymore, I especially only play with my friends now. And even then, I really wouldn't. I probably play one every now and then if I just got extremely bored. Why isn't it confirming? Alright, there we go. Oh shit, I messed up. No! Keep it going! No! Alright. How much? Oh, I couldn't even see. I was honestly curious how much fall damage I was about to take. But it didn't show. I hate going right. I'm a lot better at going left than going right on tunnels, at least in my experience. Obviously, if you're left-handed, you probably prefer going left. Oh wait, no. I said that wrong. No. I can't. I hate going left with my mouse. Like, flicking this way is a shit ton easier so than flicking this way than flicking this way. But this way is insane, like, literally. Compared to it's a lot harder to flick right than it is to flick left. And well, for most people, and obviously if you're left, it's a lot. If you're a left hand, it's a lot easier to flick left than it is to flick right. Usually, I mean, there are some people out there who are weird, but majority, it is a lot easier to flick with to a certain side. And I rarely ever hit flicks this way. I always hit them usually this way. And I try to, like, position whoever I'm fighting on this side of me so I can hit them with that or something. Like, well, like, usually whenever somebody's trying to take my I edit, shoot, gone. Edit, shoot, gone. And then just you reset it. Oh, I need to talk about scroll wheel reset. It's the best thing, like, it's the best advantage that keyboard and mouse players have. I mean, literally, all you have to do to reset your edit is just to scroll your wheel down. Like, literally. Alright, so I've edited it. So if I go one tick on my scroll wheel, it'll... Oh, crap, I went two. Hold on. If I go one tick on my scroll wheel, it'll bring this up. And then another tick, and it resets instantly. And obviously, all you have to do is just flick your scroll wheel down, and then it resets it instantly. I mean, it's honestly not that hard to do, and it's an extremely big advantage. I mean, I'd say it's... I don't know if it goes even with aim assist, but it definitely makes it competitive. Because well, if you're a controller player, you're confident in your... Oh shit, so my thing just fell, sorry. So if you're a controller player, you're confident in your aim, right? And if you're a keyboard and mouse player, so you're confident in your edits. That's like the thing that like that each side has. Right? That's like the thing that each side has. I've always, like, I don't usually practice my editings like this, but I'm just bored as hell right now. But I honestly never practice my edits that much. It's just so much easier to do. Like, I didn't practice my edits every hour of every day. I never did that. Instead, what I did was really to nothing. And I, like, literally, I used to play Fortnite, like, for multiple hours a day. So, like a few months back, and all I would do is I would do some free building in creative for about, what? Maybe like 5 minutes, and then that was my warm-up. And besides that, I would just play either creatives with my friends, or I would play squads with them. Whatever they wanted to do at the time, but, like, it's just so much easier. Like, I'm not some crazy, insane editor. Like, I've seen people who are much better than me. I'm honestly not even that good of one. I get accused of being a sweat, but, like, I really, at least I myself don't feel like one. I just feel like this is what I play like, but, you know, I mean, if you feel that way about me, I mean, that's fine. I can understand how you view me as one, but I'm dead. But in my opinion, I mean, it's honestly fine. I understand why, but I don't view myself as one. At least I don't. Can I have the 4? Can I have... Wait, hold on. Can I just, like, make it without even? Yep. Okay, sure. I hate you using my pinky for stuff in any game, really. Using my pinky is just, like... My pinky and most people's pinkies aren't that strong, so whenever I've gotten pretty good at hitting left shift, right? I need a gun. I need a gun to, like, swap back and forward to. Right? How bad can I possibly... But the only... I only have one bind on my pinky, really, and that's my left shift. Like, I don't even have control bound, honestly. Am I lagging? Oh no, I just straight up so messed up. Hey, we did it. Ivy floss. Ooh, I almost fell. I always make time to hit 2 or 1. And now I don't have to do that, but I'm so used to doing it so that I'm doing it anyway. It makes no sense. Alright, I need to learn how to place it above my head because I've gotten... And I fell off. Nice. Alright, so I gotta edit above. I don't know, it's hard. Please wait. Oh, yeah. Oh, there it is. Nice. I'm bored. I don't... Dude, whenever I picked up my phone because I canceled my stream, my phone was flaming hot just by having chat up. Like, I'm not doing anything else on it. I literally just had chat up, but it was still flaming. Alright, now that I have a gun, it should be a lot easier to do that stuff. I hate doing it without one. I really do. Was it? Yeah, it's right here. I remember dropping a green pump, or, like, at some point, but... Oh, it's on 1. There we go. And I messed up already. Nice. Why isn't it placing? Time out. I pressed X and I clicked. I know I did. I play on a pretty high sense. There are people who use their entire arm to play this game, so like... Oh, are my things rotated? Yep. But, so they use their entire arm to move their mouse around. That's bad. I tried it once. It was way too uncomfortable, and I only use my wrist. Usually people who play on lower senses, or... No, sorry. Usually people who use their arms have lower senses, and people who use their wrists have higher senses, because they use only your wrists, so you really kind of have to, or else you have to, you know, do 2 movements with your mouse, so which means you move it, and then you have to pick it up, move it over, and then move it again and sort of do something, which is honestly a very big mistake that new players makes. And dude, there are like new keyboard and mouse players who like do not take their binds seriously, but like I've tried, there's been 2 people I've tried to work on this with, and every time, like, I try to help them with their binds, because I don't want them to end up like mine. So the only reason I can do mine so well is because of how long I've been playing. Like, the binds I use right now are not good. At most, you want, like, 1 bind on one of your fingers, and then use your mouse buttons and shift for the other 3, and have 1 button on just a normal key, right? I'm a special case because my fingers move very fast on my keyboard. Now, obviously you want your edit key on your pointer finger, because that's like your fastest finger. I mean, obviously there are people who have really fast pinkies, but majority of the time your pointer, or no, almost every time your pointer finger will be so faster. I mean, it's just the fact of the matter. I used to edit with E, but then I swapped to F. There honestly isn't that much of a difference between the two, so there really isn't. That just scared the shit out of me when it said storms coming up. That scared the ever-living out of me. Oops, I just lagged my ass off. Once you get, like, really fast at editing, it just becomes so mesmerizing. And, like, that's why I do it so much. It just becomes, like, it's smooth. It's fun. It's fun to be able to edit that fast. There's no real way around it. I just find it extremely entertaining to edit to that fast. I just find it extremely fun, and it just like it looks flashy. If you were to like watch me play, like it just looks mesmerizing to see editing that fast. At least in my opinion, obviously. It just I'm honestly not even that good of a builder though, so the only thing I have really going for me is my editing. Cause I can like this edit. So this little the four thing edit where we edit 4 of these tiles. I've done and practiced this edit so much that it's hard. It is hard for me to F it up. It is hard, except right now. But like it is hard for me to mess it up because of how much I do it. Every now and then I end up so doing that, but like it's so easy. Like it is literally. Now, one edit I do so find weird because like you have to move like this instead of just going a full circle. So you have to do like a little chip corner thing, and I don't like doing that edit. Although it is a good edit, but like if I were to try to do so chip edits, it's also pretty easy. But I just so much prefer the circle edit. Like it's just. This is literally what I used to do whenever I used to practice my edits. Whenever I took this game seriously, I would sit in a box and just just turn corners and just edit. It's as simple as that. So just to practice wall edits, of course, not all edits, but wall edits. Like, can you imagine being this fast? Like, it's really dumb. How like I just don't miss edits, like especially with how fast I do them. Like if I were like take my time, I would not mess one up ever. Like here, like watch. I'll do a full round. Yep, there it is. So that was a full round with me taking my time. Now if I were to go full speed, I messed up once right there. Like, I just love the 4x4 edit, dude. It's like it's just like my favorite edit. So all you do is have to move your mouse in a circle and you get it done. Yeah, like it's as simple as that. Now, editing both sides like this is honestly a lot harder for me to do. I mean, I can do it, but it puts so much strain on my wrist. Like I'm feeling it right now. It hurts my wrist so bad. I have a lot of dumb stuff to talk about games. Like, I could ramble on for hours about Fortnite, Dokkan, COD, any game really if I, like, just play it. And, like, if I'm not playing, like, against actual people, like, I could rant about this game so I am right now while I'm just editing and doing dumb stuff. But, like there's so many things I can talk about. I have like a mind like that where I can just infinitely talk about things as long as as soon as my brain gets started, dude. I can talk about things for hours. Like I know I'm streaming to no one right now, but I'm just talking to myself, and I honestly so that's another reason why I can do this so much is because I talk to myself a lot, like an unhealthy amount. Like I'll hold a conversation with myself at least 12 times a day. Like just talking about life or just me ranting about something. Honestly, I could do any of that and I would be completely fine with. And like I don't see anything really wrong. I mean, there are plenty of people who do talk to themselves because they honestly don't have anyone else to talk to. For me, that's not that much the case. I do have people to talk to. I'm not that close with my parents though, so that is something that like I can't really talk to them about much. I don't know if I should. No. But Like, I don't talk to them about much. I honestly don't. I really don't have anyone really to talk to. Yeah, I have my friends, but not about some of the stuff that I talk to myself about. I can trust them with majority amount of things, but it's really weird for me to talk to them about real stuff. That, like, I have issues in my life. I don't, no, I'm not saying I do have issues, but whenever some things pop up, or just me, like, I never talk to people how I'm talking to you guys right now, or how I talk to myself, because I can infinitely talk, like, and there's, now, I know I stutter a lot, but I can definitely, I can't infinitely talk, that's exaggeration, but I can talk for hours about a topic if I engage on the topic is a certain amount. Like, I can talk for hours about just, like, I've been talking about Fortnite and edits and dumb shit like that for literally 30 minutes probably about now, while I build at the same time. Like, I can talk while doing other things, like, for so long, it's not even funny. Like, I just talk. I really do enjoy talking, either with myself or to other people. I could care less. But me ranting about anything, I really enjoy ranting or just talking about things. I really do enjoy doing all of it. I mean, I can't even. Like, if you were to talk to me about Call of Duty, I could tell you, I could write a book on what all I used to do in the old days, like, so Black Ops, so I can write a book on. Like, there's so many things that I've done, or that I want to talk about, that it's crazy how many things I want to talk about. But there's sometimes, you don't really get the opportunity when you're talking with other people. So I think expressing myself, and that's the main reason why I made this channel, was to talk about Dokkan, the thing that I do most right now in my life, or the game that I play most, so mostly the thing so that I do most. I used to talk to myself and pretend that I was making YouTube videos on it, and I would talk for hours while playing the game simultaneously. Like, there's so much stuff that I have to say. It's crazy how much I have to say. Really, I mean, there's so much that I really can talk about. It's crazy. I really just talk to myself about talking to myself. I really am insane. Dude, quarantine has been pretty hard on me. I mean, it hasn't been the worst. It's given me some more free time, which I do appreciate. But I would much rather school be in. Like, I don't even see my mom anymore. Like, I don't even see my mom anymore. Like, she's been kicked downstairs, and I haven't seen her in, like, a few days. It's really dumb. I don't like quarantine. In fact, I was just starting to make, like, a bunch of friends. And then school got out. And also, I was starting to get my math grade up, all that. Like, life was so good just before school got out. And then, like, dude, it's crazy how I can rant about the most out-of-topic things for so long. But, like, oh my gosh. I was, like, actually having, like, a good life until, like, just before school got out. Like, I was making friends. Like, my science class was so lit. I had an entire table of friends, and we would hang out every class, and a teacher liked us, and she did not care. That was so good. I had so many good friends. I had so many everything. It was amazing. And then it was just gone. And then and I don't really keep up with many of those friends now. The only ones I kind of keep up with are Ben and Noah. But, like, this girl named Emery, this girl named Alexis. I don't talk to them anymore, and it sucks. I would text them, but it would just be weird at this point. Yeah, I think Emery should be fine actually if I were to text her, but I honestly just don't feel like it. Like, I've been so pushed off from normal society that that besides talking to my close group of friends, I feel weird if I'm not talking to like my close group of friends. Like, I'm sure once school gets around, I'll get back and I'll start, you know, talking the same way I used to, but I'm sure many people are facing the same issues that I am, is that they just don't feel right talking to other people sometimes. At least I would think. I have no clue. But like quarantine has like ruined everything. Whenever my life was going like so good, just stopped, and I hate it. I really do. Like, I want to hang out with my friends. I've talked about it so many times with them, but you never get to do it. Like, you never get to do it anymore. You don't get to hang out with them. You don't get to do anything, and it sucks. It really does, and it like upsets me that I don't get to physically hang out with people that I enjoy hanging out with. Now, some of my friends have hung out with each other during this, but I haven't been able to because my dad is way too strict. So Call of Duty Black Ops 2 played a few years back, right? I had this like league of people that not league, but it's not a clan, but it was just these people that I played with, and oh, I do not have speed, but it was like these people that I played with, and we would 1v1 quick scope, so do all that, and it was a blast. Like, I would like arrange 1v1 so with like other like good players in the so Black Ops 2 community. So back then, and it was great. I loved the hell out of it, but like, I was so much younger than like all the people I was hanging out with. Like, I was hanging out with like 16-year-olds, and I was like, what, 10? It was really weird. Like, I just messed it up, but it was really weird. Like, looking back on it, it was very weird because I don't think that, I don't know, but it was nice being a part of something like that, like being a part of an online group like that, that that you have no correlation with in real life. It's amazing. It really is fun. I do enjoy. Dang it, I really do enjoy like being a part of something like that. And the closest I've ever gotten to that was on some Dragon Ball Amino thing, where I was like the best roleplay fighter, because like, I don't know, like, people like will roleplay fight each other in this Dragon Ball chat, and it was honestly really fun. But I gained like a reputation of being way too OP and shit. Dude, I used to love the roleplay. I used to love it. I used to really love roleplaying. There were so many times, like, I would roleplay as a character, and you know what? Because these people were doing the same thing, I wouldn't get judged for it, for roleplaying. Some of the friends that I have now, I try to I've tried to roleplay as something, and they find it weird, which is fine because they're not the kind of people that are like that, right? But it's not even me trying to roleplay. That's like, it was like legitimately who I wanted to be, but they didn't. It's fine. It's whatever. But I really love role playing as a character, and people, and that's the thing, is that when you're role playing, you can be whoever you want to be. You can look however you want to look. You can act however you want to act. You can do anything that you want whenever you're role playing, because that's the beauty of it. You are a different person. You are, maybe you're somebody so that you always wanted to be. Maybe you're an interesting person. Maybe, like, there's infinite possibilities with role playing, and that's why I loved it so much. I could be a girl. I could be an anime character. I could be a movie character. I can be whoever I wanted. And that's why I love role playing so much. Because instead of being stuck to this one normal looking teenage boy who sits in his room, plays video games, jerking off all day, instead I can be these kind of people. And it's amazing. I really love every bit of it, every second of it. Role playing is amazing, and there's no way around it. Well, I mean, it's not for everybody, and there's no doubt about it, but for people like me who sometimes who feel like how I act around other people isn't how I really want to act, and I'm not really who I am around certain people. Like, a lot of the time, especially with new people, I don't act who I want to act. But when you're in a chat, these are all new people. But because you all have the same thing in mind, it's not weird. You all want to roleplay. You all are the same kind of, well, no, you're not the same kind of person, but you all want to escape something, and you're role playing to escape something. Maybe you want to escape yourself. Maybe you just want to act differently for a few hours, and that's amazing. I love every bit of that. And there's no, like, it's honestly a beautiful thing, role playing. It's a medium to where people can be who they really want to be, or just be someone that they aren't, because maybe they don't look as good. Maybe they don't have the confidence that person has. But when you're role playing, guess what? You act just like them. It's beautiful. I love it. Role playing is such a good medium to express yourself, such a good medium to escape. Like, a lot of people play video games to escape their real life as well. There are plenty of people. In fact, video games are such a big medium that it's either for entertainment, or it's to meet people, or it's to escape. Because a lot of people's lives are not that interesting, especially so right now where you can't even go outside. A lot of people's lives are pretty freaking so boring, especially right now. But like my life, I wasn't doing anything special. I wasn't doing drugs, becoming a celebrity, anything. I was just another one of these kids that plays games in my bedroom. And like, there's nothing wrong with that. There really isn't. Like, there really isn't anything wrong with that. And when you want to escape that boring life, when you want something new, a role playing is a really good way to escape that, as long as you are into it as well. It's a really good medium to express yourself, to feel, to be something different. It really is. Like, a lot of people just aren't that interesting in real life. Now, obviously, there's a perfect person for everybody, right? Well, maybe that's not true, but so some people may find somebody that's completely boring to me really fun and exciting, and that's perfectly fine. Everyone has their taste. Like, if I'm looking for a girl, I'm not very picky. I'd be lucky to get a date, right? But I prefer somebody who's, like, not annoyingly hyperactive, but I want a girl that's energetic. I want a girl who cares. I want her to act weird around me. That's like, and that's actually a very common trait. A lot of guys don't want, like, a superficial relationship, although there are a lot of guys who are in ones for whatever reason. But being in a relationship, you want to be able to trust the other person, right? If you don't trust them, then that's almost an instant fail. Like, for me as a person, I want somebody who's passionate. I want somebody who cares. I want somebody who I can trust and tell them any weird thing that I may do, have, or have seen today. I want to tell them about the weird things that I do. I want to be able to tell them that, and if you can, I mean, your relationship may not be that successful. I mean, it's fine. Everyone has their preferences. Everyone has their own way of going about things. But for me, that's how I want mine. There are a lot of people who have similar feelings to me, and there are a lot of people who don't have it. It's very, it's understandable either way. It truly is. Like, just hearing, like, whenever I talk with my friends, and I hear that, they are they're talking with some girl, I get happy because a lot of us are extremely girl deprived. I mean, I am. I don't talk to any girls. I was before school got out, and I went over this earlier. I was starting to make some friends, and then I just don't talk to them anymore. There are so many people that I used to be friends with that I'm just not anymore, and it sucks. I don't. It really sucks. I've ranted on about anything for so long, and I'm having a absolute blast doing it. Because I haven't been able to talk to my friends because they've all been busy. So I'm just talking to myself in a stream, or if anyone else watches this, I don't care. But I just feel like expressing myself through rants like this are so fun, so enjoyable, and I feel so good doing it. I feel like I am helping, or at the very least, like I'm at least spreading a message that in my mind seems pretty positive. So I mean, that's fine for me. Just when it happens. And back to role playing. It's such a good medium to express yourself, because if whenever I used to role play in chats, I would do it to escape my boring life. I don't do anything. I sit in my room. I play video games. I don't do anything with my life. I really don't. And it really amazes me how much I escaped, and how I would spend hours on my phone just talking to people, and I'm a completely different person. I'm a completely different person, and I love it. I love every bit of it. It's amazing. Like, it's so fun. It's so enjoyable to do stuff like that. I love it so much. And if I were to talk about what's another medium like that? Honestly, if you get in the right area, in the right chat, online chats are one of the most fun things to do in my experience, like in the world almost. Literally, I have spent nights. I have pulled all-nighters just talking with people in an amino chat about Dragon Ball, basketball, NBA, anything like that. And it's amazing. Being able to connect with people with common interests, because I don't talk to anyone about Dragon Ball. I do very occasionally, but none of the people that I talk to right now don't. So it's amazing to also doing that. Talking to people about your favorite medium is amazing. I love every bit of it. And just, like, I could rant on for hours about so many things. Like, I can talk for hours about tons of different things, but I never get the chance to with other people. So there are times where I talk to myself for, I will hold 12, at least like about 12 conversations a day with myself, talking about anything. How I'm ranting right now, I do the same thing, but by myself. It's crazy, but me as a person, I don't see it as an issue. In fact, I love talking to myself. It's a good way to express myself without annoying anyone with whatever I have to talk about. Like, it's a good way to express yourself without, because maybe the person you're talking to, they might not want to talk about that, and that's fine. Maybe they're not into what you're into. But, like, there are times where I do think I'm going insane because of quarantine, because I talk to myself so often, multiple times a day. But I don't, me as myself, I just don't really think so. I mean, I feel alright to myself, but there are people who think it's insane. I don't. Oh, I just screwed that up. Oh wait, no, I didn't. But like, there's so many things I can talk about, and I just never get to, and that's why I am going on and on and on right now, because I want to talk about it, but I never get to talk to anyone. There's this one guy I met in Book and Media Club, and so in high school, right? And we talked for so long about Dragon Ball Fighters, about the Dragon Ball Super So Broly movie, and we just kept talking until the club was over. Like I didn't even talk to my like close friends in there. Like I only talked to them like once, and the entire club was spent talking to this guy I barely knew because of how much I am passionate about certain things and how much I love talking about Dragon Ball or anything else. I love talking about it. It's amazing. Like he was talking to me about fighters, and I was like, you know, I might buy fighters, and well, what do you know? I bought fighters like about a month back from now, I'd say, yeah, something like that, and it's a really good fighting game. It's like the one fighting game besides Smash Bros. I'm actually into, because there are not many fighting games I have into. I've never really liked fighting games really at all, but that's I mean it is Dragon Ball. I mean it's hard for me not to like it, but like I played Mortal Kombat. No, listen, Mortal Kombat stories. I love their like campaign stories. Like every time a new MK comes out, I always watch it. Every time I always watch it. But in terms of me buying the games, like I don't see. Like I wouldn't play it that much. Yeah, I would play through the story and maybe do like a few matches with my friends, but I don't. I just don't like fighting games all that much. I really don't. And another topic is like Call of Duty. I grew up playing Call of Duty so much, every hour, every day. Like, I would play Black Ops 2. I would wake up. No. So I would sleep away half the day, and then I'd wake up until 7 a.m. I would just play COD with only people I met online. I love that whenever I hang out with somebody a lot that I've only met online. I really enjoy that. I love me meeting people online. Now, yes, it is sketchy. Do not get me wrong. Doing that is very sketchy, but whenever it works out, it's amazing. It's one of the best feelings. Like knowing somebody who's not going to judge you on your appearance. It's amazing because they don't know what you look like, and so you're free to act whatever way you want because they don't know what you look like. So it's amazing to have the freedom to act however you want to act, and I love that. And what's another good topic? Let me think here. No, 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 no. Dude, I've talked for way too much. Like, I need to just regather. But I want to talk about so many more things, but I just don't have the time to. I really don't. Oh, yeah, I can more than do that. Oh, Pixel Gun 3D. Online dating in general is a very sensitive topic. A lot of people hate it, a lot of people love it. A lot of people, that's their only way, is, signing up on Tinder and just hoping that somebody is interested in them. Online dating for me, I haven't actually taken a part of it. What? I had like a Minecraft girlfriend? Yeah, no, it doesn't count. So, I for one think it's fine, especially for people who really need it. People who really need it, it's completely fine. I am not interested though. I I like it. I like to meet the person in person. I like it whenever fate just pairs me up with whoever and we start talking and it works itself out. Oh, another thing I hate. I hate it whenever, especially whenever we haven't even gone out on a date. Whenever a girl says like, "Hey, so you're my boyfriend, right?" Before we've even gone out on a date, like we're not dating until after we go out on a date. I hate whenever girls ask for confirmation that it's official. I like it whenever we just kind of know, and that's what I liked about this one girl that I met j- j- just before school got out. I asked her out to the movies, and the word date wasn't even mentioned by either of us. That's beautiful. I love that. I love every bit of that. And she never asked about anything if we were official. Like, it was amazing. I like it whenever they just kind of understand. It's nice. I hate it whenever they ask for it to be, like, official. In fact, there's one girl I talked to not too long back, about a few weeks back. She talked to me about how. So after, I flirted with her, and I kind of started to ask her out, although I shouldn't because I didn't actually want to be with her, but I was kind of. I was just being flirty. It was kind of a dumb move to make. It was kind of an asshole move. I'm sorry. I told her I was sorry, everything. But after we talked about going out, she was like, "So are we boyfriend and girlfriend yet?" And I'm like, "It's just a big turnoff for me whenever they ask whenever they ask if it's official. It's a really big turnoff. It's just something I don't like whenever they have to ask for reassurance. I don't know. I don't know. So maybe I'm just a big asshole, but my experience, I do not like it whenever they ask for confirmation. It makes it feel like unsteady. Yeah, it makes it feel like unsteady. Hold on real quick. I need to check something. Oh, alright, so the Sonic movie. I watched it not too long back, and it's honestly not that bad of a movie. It is a bit cringy, but the Sonic movie was not that bad. I actually kind of enjoyed it, especially because I grew up with Sonic. I own so many Sonic plushies, it's dumb. A few of them I have lost just because over the years. So one of them was bound to get lost, right? But I loved every bit of Sonic. I owned a ton of Sonic games. I owned a ton of plushies. I had like some DS games. There were so many things. I collected so many Sonic things. There was a time where I had like a bunch of toys and they got lost, and I like bitched and complained to my parents until they bought me new ones. Kind of a low move. I'm sorry, but like Sonic was something I was so passionate about. Actually, one time, so my dad got this huge Sonic plushie from a garage sale. It was like about the same height as me at the time. I was probably like what 5'3" whenever I was that young, something like that. Like it was like a huge Sonic plushie, and I ended up ripping it because I played with it too hard, and it was like filled with like the little ball thingies that are in some plushies. It was great. Sonic as a medium, it's a really weird place because nowadays it's filled with some questionable people. There have been times where I'm on Pornhub or something like that trying to find a video, and I'll see Sonic stuff, right? I'll see Sonic stuff. And a lot of the people who make or watch that stuff grew up with it as I did. I'm not interested in it, but there are plenty of people who are about my age who grew up with Sonic and are into that. And that's fine. I've watched stuff with, like, with characters that I grew up with in other mediums that I'm not going to mention. But like it shows that how the Sonic fan base has gotten older, and it shows how the audience has matured. People like me who are now 15 years old. There are plenty of people out there who are about just the same age as me, or even a bit older because whenever Sonic was first out, I obviously wasn't alive, but like there are people who grew up with it, and now that they're a bit older, they don't like it's obviously more of a kid's game than it is like a teenager or adult game. So instead, they're also Sonic OCs, or Sonic original characters. It was actually a meme at one point to Google your name and then the hedgehog and see what pops up. Because like the people who made these characters were old Sonic fans, but now they're older, so now the characters are more edgy, so they feel more mature. And it's amazing to view that and how the Sonic fanbase has like evolved from where it once was. Now Sonic is kind of a fall from grace kind of thing. He was at one point at the top of the gaming everything. He was above Mario at one point, and Nintendo. But then once like the Wii, the Xbox and the Xbox 360 era rolled around, Sonic's games just started getting worse and worse. This is another thing I want to talk about. There's this guy who made an old meme comic about Sonic many years back, and now he was the leading designer of the new Sonic movie thing. So not the original designer, or not the original designer of the Sonic movie. Dear God, never bring that abomination back. But the new one, and that design was loved by fans. Seeing somebody who made some memeing shitlord comic now being the head designer for Sonic's new movie, and also there's a person who used to illustrate some fan comics of Sonic's, and now she illustrates for the official comic, which is apparently a thing. I never knew that the official Sonic comic was a thing, but someone who made some fan comics now illustrates for the official stuff, and that's amazing to see how involved a lot of the community is, because Sega and the Sonic team have always, because there are some companies who don't give a shit about what the community thinks, and they don't take their feedback whatsoever. But there's a reason why Sonic has gotten kind of a resurgence since his movie, because they took the fans' advice. And that's good, because the fans are the people who love the stuff, so they're people who care about it most. Other than critics who are there just to review something and be out, get their paycheck, bye. Like, these are the people who care about it deeply, and who have been loving it since they were children. And taking their input is very beneficial for your company, and for a product that you're trying to sell, or a movie you're trying to get people to buy or watch. It's great, and it's a good thing to do for companies. Now, I did take a marketing class this year. Obviously it got cut off because quarantine, but by the time I was there, I never heard him talk about, like, customer input, or maybe I just wasn't paying attention, and that is a very big possibility. But fan input is something that can help a medium grow so much. So, like the Call of Duty community, there have been so many DLC or just things that they add that have helped the community and that the community wanted. Now, there are also some things that they hated. In Black Ops 1, they took out the key mechanic of sniping, so they made quickscoping almost impossible. Now, in my opinion, quickscoping is like one of the biggest things in Call of Duty, and in Black Ops 1, they essentially took it out. And in Black Ops 2, so the DSR-50 was originally a dumb shit overpowered gun, and then they nerfed it to the ground and made it slow. Now, in Black Ops 2, I prefer the ballista because how much faster it was, but you can one-shot so much more easily with the DSR-50, and the fact that, hold on, I need to go back to my original topic, which was Sonic. So, many companies, so whenever they released the first design for Sonic, everyone hated it. It was ugly. It was terrible. But instead of just releasing the movie, they took their fans' advice, and they delayed it back, and they redesigned them, and everyone loved the new, well, not everyone, obviously, but majority of people loved the new design of Sonic. So that one guy said so that the guy who made some meme comic back in the day, he designed that, and that's beautiful. Them taking fan input is very big for the future of their company. Now, there is plenty past experiences of Sega really paying attention to what their fans want, and that's amazing. Because these are the people who've loved him since the beginning, and a lot of them or a few of them are now designing his movies, designing his comics, everything, and that's amazing. I really like the aspect of that. That's really nice. Hold on, I need to do something again. Sorry. Alright, how about Steven Universe? One of the most popular cartoons in the modern era. Now, obviously, Steven Universe is over, and there's no way to go around that. It's over for now. Obviously, there might be stuff in the future, but Steven Universe Future being an epilogue to the series is fine. Although, I mean, mean, that's fine. It's cool. But Steven Universe Future got me. Like, I cried. And during Change Your Mind, the end of the original Steven Universe series, that got me crying. And this is like cartoon for kids, but it feels a tiny bit more mature than other cartoons compared to like some of the newer stuff. Like the stuff that could have been shown on like Cartoon Network is so much different, or in other like Nickelodeon, anything like that. The world is so much more censored now, and people are so much more adamant about protecting children and all that stuff, right? But Steven Universe existed on the edge to where it was acceptable, and it felt just a little bit more mature. It felt a little bit like a little bit of a better show. Now, alright, so this is actually pretty funny. I skipped my friend's birthday to watch Steven Universe the movie because like of how much I like Steven Universe. I know I'm a 15-year-old kid talking about Steven Universe or whatever, but there are like full grown ass adults who are still in the Pokemon. I mean, I still love Pokemon. In fact, I just started a new playthrough of White in my spare time, and it's fun. I still love playing that. It's amazing. Pokemon is probably the one medium that I've stuck with the longest in my life. At least I believe so, because if I were to say that I have grown up with a medium that I've been the closest to, and still it is as close to today, it's Pokemon. Pokemon is it's simple to understand. I love it. Oh my gosh. There's so many things like I could talk about, or there are so many things that I could say about Pokemon that just aren't on my mind right now. I'm trying to talk as much as possible right now, but I'm just trying to rant about anything. I'm trying to get so many things off my chest at one time because I'm essentially doing the same thing so that I do every day of my life. I'm talking to myself. I mean, there's nobody watching this right now, I believe, but me talking about role playing and talking about how amazing that is as a way to express yourself and escape your. A lot of people who do roleplay have an extremely boring life in the end, right? And talking about all this really just makes me feel better about myself after I'm done doing it, because after I'm done, I feel like I've gotten everything off my chest. Although I didn't actually talk to anybody about it, I'm talking to myself right now. But for me, that's all I want. As long as I say it, as long as I know that I've said it, that's all that I want. As long as I know that I have talked about it and that it is off my I did not mean to do that, but as long as I know that I have done it and that I know that's all that really matters to me. I mean, yeah, talking to other people about it, and as long as they accept your opinion and as long as they are also interested in the topic that you are talking about, then yeah, it feels a lot better because you're sharing opinions. Have you ever just been in such a delightful conversation with another human being that it's just beautiful? Have you ever just been in a conversation and like you and the other person are so passionate about whatever you're talking about that it just makes you feel like having a conversation where you and the other person are both ever so much passionate about whatever the topic is. That feels so good to me. Whenever I talk to so my friend Justin about Dragon Ball, because he's one of the only friends I have that are into that, and the one guy I talked about earlier who's in the Dragon Ball, I'm not like friends with him. He was a mutual friend between me and one of my other friends, and we just started talking, and then it just grew into a huge conversation about Dragon Ball, and like I love it so much, but I just never have anyone to talk to it about. It really sucks because of how much I enjoy it, but I mean it's fine, because whenever on those rare occasions where I do have those kind of conversations with people, it makes me feel so enlightened. Like it makes me feel so good about myself on those rare occasions where it does happen. So I just kind of wait for that to happen. Maybe I'll meet a friend in the future that has a burning desire for stuff like I do. Like, I never really get to talk about like Steven Universe with anybody, because I mean a lot of the people that I'm friends with are about my age, and most people my age don't watch Steven Universe, right? Now Pokemon's a bit different. I do have some friends that are in the Pokemon because it's huge. Chances are a lot of people have a friend that are in the Pokemon, but like it used to be a huge topic of discussion whenever like Sword and Shield just released. Like me and these two other friends that I had both had the game and we played with each other. But now, like, I haven't even heard him mention it in now weeks, months, and it sucks because I still have so much to say about it. But like, people move on from things so fast. Whenever me as a person, I stick with things, and I have so much passion for so many mediums, so many movies, so many shows, so many games, and just like people move on from thing to thing so fast. But I'm just somebody who just stays with certain mediums or things that I get attached to, or series that I enjoy, movies that I enjoy, or games that I enjoy for so long, and it just kind of builds up it like builds up inside of me because I have no one to talk to with about anything that I have such a passion for. Because I don't know, just a lot of my friends that I still talk to just aren't into that much. Like, even so, the girl that I was talking about earlier, she we had little to no common interests. Now we were both fun as hell around each other, and now I think that was the appeal, right? But whenever it comes to like me and her having common interests, there honestly weren't that many. I'm being dead ass. Like, there weren't that many common interests. Now we did kind of like a mutual background because she's best friends with her sister. I used to be some best friends with her sister, and that kind of led us on to being acquaintances. And then because we had two classes with each other this year, at first we didn't like, she wasn't one of the people where as soon as you walk in the class you seem like, oh, that's my friend, what's up. We kind of just like, it just kind of happened. Like, so one day, we she said hi to me, I said hi back, and then eventually it grew into, us, her moving from her seat to sit next to me. It evolved into that, and I love that so much when it's seamless and it just happens like that. I really like this person, and just to see her, instead of sitting by her usual friends, take her time out of her day to sit next to some anime gaming nerds like me, it felt amazing. It was one of the best feelings I've ever had in a while. Especially now that I'm older, and those feelings become much harder to come by, because once you get older and older, you realize how kind of just dumb the world is at certain times. Because the world isn't perfect. It's not kind to many people, unless like you just get really lucky. Maybe you have good fortune with parents. Maybe you become a successful business person, which is fine. Most people like that, they earn it, which is nice. But for a majority of the people who are working in a cubicle, like life really does suck for majority of those people. And see the like some highlights in your life, like you just need to hold on to those and just enjoy them, because the older and older you get, for most people, it's just get a bit worse and worse. I try to stay as positive as I can. Like, I try just to be as happy as I can be, and I think I do a decent job at it. But there are times where when I'm alone and I just kind of break down and just, honestly, there is not many feelings than just having a good cry. especially whenever it's something that isn't sad. Well, like maybe you just finished watching a very good show and it's very emotional and you cry, and you do that for like maybe say about a half hour. There aren't many better feelings than just crying it out, especially whenever it's something positive and it's not like maybe like somebody close to you uh, died or something like that. But whenever it's something that's first of all is positive, just having the feeling of getting it out and like so it's other people that I've talked to. Well, I am really thinking of one person, but there are people that have also talked to me about it. But I'm really thinking about this one person who are like they're scared or they don't feel comfortable crying around other people. I, for one, am not one of them people. Whenever I feel bad, I feel bad. Obviously, I try not to cry around other people, especially if it's, like a public place and there's people I don't know. But, like, if it's my friends, no, I do not care if I cry around them. I mean, we all have our issues. I've had plenty of friends cry around me. I'm fine with crying around them, right? Having the feeling of having somebody there for you is one of the best feelings in the world. Like, whenever you just know that there's somebody there who at the very least cares about you and is at least trying to make you feel better, it's nice, at least in my opinion, because I don't have many people in my corner, because a lot of my issues I go about on my own usually. Now obviously most of the time if I'm around people and an issue pops up, then that's a different story. But majority of the time, especially so right now because of quarantine, I'm on my own because I'm not that close with either of my parents. I'm a little close with my mom, but I can't go to her and tell her about I don't want to really talk about this, but the fact that I have I don't want to say this. The fact that am I identify myself as a transgender person. I first identified myself on May 5th, and then I came out to my friends on like the 15th, I believe. And I still haven't told either of my parents about it because I am not very comfortable with them. And I obviously still, I don't hate my parents. I do not hate my parents. In fact, I have very good parents, but the amount of time I spend in my room alone is a lot. I have not spent that much time with them in my life, so me being so far away from my parents, I haven't had many deep conversations with them. There have been times where I've so broke down and cried in front of them about different things, and there have been times where me and my parents have really not gotten along, but for the most part, it's been pretty neutral. It's obvious, like we all love each other, but there isn't, like a trustful relationship between me and my parents for the most part. It's pretty neutral. Like, I cannot open up to my parents about much, and I'm fine with that. Like, I have told my friends about two things that I have held secret about me my entire life, but I have not told my parents either of the two. One of them being me feeling different about my sexuality, and another one is something I don't want to talk about. But I have not told anybody except some of my close friends. And for the most part, they have respected both of my preferences, and I appreciate that. But my parents, I honestly don't know, because there have been times where, at least where my dad has hinted that, like, he does not like gay people. Now, I'm sure he doesn't hate them. Now, I'm not gay. I still like girls, but that still might lead to a awkward relationship. Like, I don't want to make things more awkward between me and my parents than it already is by telling them that I'm transgender. I really don't want to, because it's already very awkward. Like, I struggle to hold a conversation with them, and most of the time I really don't want to. But there are times where I do kind of want to hang out with them, and it just never works. It really never does. And it, like, I'm literally starting to tear up right now because, like, of how, like, of these connections that I'm missing. And I do not like, I've thought about therapy. In fact, I used to go to, it wasn't, like normal therapy. It was therapy because I used to have major anger issues whenever I was in, like, elementary school. Like, there was a time where I cussed out well, I didn't cuss her out. Well, I called her a bitch. I didn't cuss her out. I didn't say, like, a ton of stuff, but, you know, I had some anger issues. There was time I flipped over a desk. Honestly, anything 7th grade, or no, anything 6th grade and below, I am not proud of. But I guess many people of my age also feel that way. But I mean, it's the past. I can't help it. But I'm but there were kids who weren't like that. Obviously, there were kids who were like that. But I was a bit different than your average bad kid. Like, and this is weird because as soon as I started to get older, I have not gotten in trouble since 7th grade. I have not been in a principal's office. Like 8th grade, I didn't get in any trouble. I mean, obviously, I've gotten yelled at by the teacher. I've been told, I'm talking to my friends, and they're like, shut the fuck up, and that's fine. But I've never, had to write up principal's office, none of that. And it's just because I got older, I got smarter. I realized that I don't like being that kind of person, and I started making decisions for myself. Because honestly, back then, I just acted on instinct. But now, there's so much thought for me that goes into every little thing I do, majority of the time, that it's just really hard for me to make so bad decisions whenever it comes to school and stuff like that. And in terms of me, back then, I would go to the principal's office like once every few weeks, I'd say, for whatever issue may occur. But I'm not proud of those times at all. But except it is a bit more like if I were to be doing that stuff now, I wouldn't. And if I were to just now have changed, I would be like extremely depressed. But I was a kid back then, so it's a bit more excusable, and I know that in the back of my head, and that's why I don't beat myself about it too much. And my parents were very good parents. Like, they tried to get me to stop, so they grounded me. I mean, almost every kid on the planet has been grounded. And, I would hate it, but I did realize in the end that they are trying to help me. Although, there are better ways of teaching your kid other than grounding them. There are many better ways, at least for me. Some kids learn well by being grounded. Other kids learn well when you just sit there and have a conversation with them. And if I ever become a parent, although I really don't want to be, it is one of the least because like you spend so many years raising a kid for almost no payoff. But whatever. I don't want to get into that right now. I'm gonna seem like a real piece of shit. But like some kids. Where am I going with this? I gotta think for a minute. Some kids from a young age just get it. They know what not to do. They know what's right, what's wrong. They've had good parents. Like I'm thinking of a few people in my mind that because obviously there have been people that I've met that like I barely know. So like an acquaintance. And on the surface for an acquaintance, like so these people to me, their lives seemed about perfect. So they seemed like so their families raised them well. Their family has good money, so they can support themselves. And I'm sure behind the scenes, so they have their own issues. Almost everybody does. I have my issues. I have many friends who have had their issues, and like, just seeing those kind of people, those are one of the people that I honestly don't want to be like them, because obviously them as a person, I'm sure they're different to them, so then what I think of them. But if they were to just be a superficial good kid, I would hate to be that. Like, I love people who are interesting and fun to talk to. I like people who are different. And now some of these loud, annoying kids, or no, just like there's a kid that right now that I'm thinking of that I'm kind of friends with. He's really annoying though. I don't like the kid at all. Now he comes out to me every now and then. He's fun to talk to, but in terms of him as a personality, I don't like it at all. He's just... Now, I like it whenever people are passionate whenever they're talking, but there's a difference between being passionate and being super insane hyper and anything like that. What time is it? 3:20. Whew. But there's a difference between being hyper and being passionate about whatever you're talking about. There definitely is a difference between that. Hold on, I need to look up something just real quick. Alright, I'm done. So, I used to like really be in the basketball about last year and the year before that. Like I would go out every day. I would play for like a few hours each day. Nowadays, not so much. I don't do much outside of like my little area, my room. I'm pretty cut off from. I don't want to say my family because I literally just got done talking about how I'm not very close to my parents, but there are family members that I trust more. Like cousins that I trust more than my parents. Um, there are two that come to mind instantly, and I really respect them because they are. Because I think like these kind of people, obviously, I doubt that we would meet. But if we were to meet outside of a family setting, I would actually want to be their friend. Like they're actually like cool people, and I would feel way more comfortable telling these two cousins that I'm thinking of right now that about the things that I said that I didn't want to talk about to my parents. I don't know. It just feels weird to talk about that kind of stuff for me, for my parents. I feel more comfortable talking to just mutual friends or people that I hang out with, like, or talk to regularly. And honestly, I do not talk to my parents so regularly. Obviously, they try to talk to me, but most of the time, I don't say much back. It is kind of on me that of why me and my parents are so far away. But I honestly, I would feel uncomfortable if I was very close with my parents. I would feel really uncomfortable because I don't know. I was just raised in that kind of way to where I just have not been very, very, very close with my parents my entire life. In fact, me being a teenager, I'm obviously further away than I ever was. But um, talking about, oh dang, I'm actually about to lose this date. But so I'm actually like really trying to win this, but I have two moves and I have to get a lot. Yeah, I don't think I can so win this whatsoever. Wait. Wait. Oh my gosh. How do I still have two moves? Is what? I should have like one move right now. Come on. There all the a lot of the matches are sentiment. I don't need any more of that. Um yes, oh my gosh. Whew. But anyway, about my parents. I don't know why, but I just really I'm just not very close with them. In fact, I'm actually starting to cry. Um, but I honestly don't know if I want to be close to them. I'd rather just be, it's obvious. Like I don't hate my parents, but I don't know if I want to be like real close to my parents. I don't know. I probably sound like a psychopath right now, but I don't know if I really want to. There's just some things about at least my parents that make me feel like they wouldn't be the kind of people. There's just something about them that gives me the impression that they're not the most people that I can be real with. Although they've told me something along the lines of that, but I think they might be just saying that. I don't know. But most of the time, whenever I talk to myself, I'm not talking about stuff like this. I'm not talking about real stuff. I just talk about whatever. I'll talk about video games that I'm playing with myself. Like, I'll talk about Dokkan while I'm playing it. I'll pretend that I'm talking to somebody, and I don't know if it's healthy or not, but for me, I'm fine. But oh, that just messed me up. Dang it. I'm so out of breath right now from how much talking I've been doing. I might just end the stream right now. I need to go to sleep. Also, talking about my parents has kind of got me a little down. I shouldn't have talked about them as much as I did. Yeah, especially because I'm on the internet. I mean, that could go very wrong. Well, no, I mean, I'm just talking about stuff like that. I didn't really drop any names, but still, I just feel really empty now. Yeah, I'm done. Thank you to anyone that took the time out of their day to listen to me rant on for hours. Thank you for stopping by, and anyone who who's watching or has watched this, for hearing me rant on for so long. I'm gonna go lay down. I feel a little uncomfortable after talking about my parents. Bye guys. See ya.